Okay, today we're starting to work on the front end on the 1970 road race car. Yesterday I went ahead and spent a little bit of time on the passenger side front fender. Front fender is properly installed. You can take a look. Fit on it's pretty good. It's fitted at the door jamb. Grill's installed. Looks like it fits really well. If you take a look on the inside where the inner fender panel is, you can see where the glue joint was at the bonding strip. That area right up in there gives you some indication. On this driver's side fender, it's not glued on. We're going to fit it. It's pretty close right now. The next move is going to be jack it up, take the left front wheel off. Once the left front wheel's off, I'm going to take a marker and I'm going to mark where the bonding strips are meeting the fender, and I'm going to clean that surface area. And once I clean that surface area, then we'll be able to have a nice clean spot to glue to. A lot of these panels, when you get them, you don't realize it, but there's mold release. It's kind of like a wax. When they make the panel, they put this material on the mold itself to allow it to release. Once they get ready to get it out of the mold, it doesn't stick. Problem with that is it won't allow glue or paint or a lot of other things to stick to it. When you go to glue it together, you have a problem, or when you go to paint it, you'll have a problem. One thing to remember on a 70 to 72 car, there's a panel that bonds to the inside of the fender, and it locates that grill right there. And I can show that to you when I get ready to glue the other side on. I'll show you how that installs. But prep is a big part of the job. Not only do you have a lot of grinding and fitting, but you have to kind of think about what needs to be done before the panel's in place, because there's a lot of things you won't be able to get to. I'm gonna, like I said, mark the back side of this driver's side fender, and once I'm done with that, then I'll go ahead and grind it, and then we'll talk about the installation. Okay, we're getting ready to do some grinding. Earlier I went ahead and I took my panel that I'm getting ready to install, and I got behind it and I marked where all the bonding strips are going to land. That's that silver line that you're seeing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of 36 grit disc and I'm going to grind that area so that when it's cleaned off, it'll mount up against the bonding strips to the car, and it'll be a good surface area. And what we talked about earlier is to mount this grill, there's a very small panel that bonds to this area right here. And you can do it either two ways. You can either try to get it glued to the fender before you mount it, or you could wrestle it once the fender's on the car. So I think I'm going to wait till I get it on the car. Alright, fenders are on. This is the driver's side fender, and you can see it's on the car. I've gone ahead and cleaned up the bonding area where the seam is. There's original like a seam sealer in this seam, and so I've removed it. The original rivet holes, well, I say original, but you know, when the car had flares on it, they pop riveted rivets on top of the fender to hold the flare on. I've beveled those edges so that way I can fill them, and the fender fits pretty good. That's the door jamb area where the fit, you know, to the door is. Looks pretty good everywhere. Real solid installation. Same thing on the other side. Other side fenders, pretty much the same situation, condition. I did install the lower grill, and it's kind of ready to go. The gap's pretty good. I will need to clean that up a little bit, but not much. So we're moving forward on it. It's good to see fenders back on the car. Since I've owned the car, it's never had a good fender on it. So we're moving on.